Have you ever looked at your life and felt a quiet panic rise up? Not because you don't know how to work hard, but because there are too many versions of you that all feel real. Too many paths you could take. Too many futures that seem equally possible. And the terrifying thought isn't, what if I fail? It's, what if I choose the wrong one? This video exists because for some people, quitting isn't the problem. Discipline isn't the problem. Effort isn't the problem. The problem is standing still frozen, while your mind pulls you in 12 directions at once, each one whispering, that could be me. You're not afraid of commitment. You're afraid of amputating parts of yourself. You're not lazy. You're overwhelmed by choice. And the moment someone says, just pick one thing and stick to it, something inside you tightens. Because that advice doesn't feel like guidance. It feels like a trap. Society has words for you. Dilettante, jack of all trades, unfocused. And even if no one says them out loud, you feel their weight every time you compare yourself to someone who seems to have known their path since they were 20. The anxiety doesn't come from curiosity. It comes from the fear that curiosity might cost you your future. But here's the shift most people never hear. The problem isn't that you have too many interests. The problem is that you're measuring your mind with the wrong ruler. For most of the last century, success was built for a predictable world. A world where rules stayed stable, feedback came quickly, and going deep into one narrow lane paid off. Psychologists call this a kind learning environment. It rewarded specialization. It created the I-shaped person, one deep pillar, one identity, one professional label. But look around honestly. The world you're building a career in now doesn't behave like that anymore. Rules change faster than mastery can keep up. Feedback is delayed. Skills expire. Patterns stay hidden. This is a wicked learning environment. And in this kind of world, hyper-specialization can quietly become a liability. That doesn't mean specialists are useless. Far from it. But treating specialization as the only valid path turns people like you into collateral damage. You start to feel broken for not fitting into a system that was never designed for how your brain works. So instead of thinking in job titles, you need to think in shapes. The I shape is depth without breadth. The dash shape is breadth without depth. The trap that leaves you anxious, floating, and ungrounded. But there's a third shape that explains you far better. The M-shaped mind. Two deep pillars, built deliberately over time, connected by a wide band of curiosity, not doing everything at once, not chasing every interest, but combining depth with transfer. One pillar that pays the bills and stabilizes your life. Another you go deep into later. And between them, your interests, psychology, design, history, systems, storytelling, don't disappear. They become the connective tissue that makes your work rare. This is where something powerful happens. Specialists rely on near transfer, using knowledge in similar situations. But minds like yours excel at far transfer. A musician sees harmony in code. A biologist sees ecosystems in organizations. A writer sees narrative in data. Those random interests you've collected aren't distractions. They're a private library of metaphors your brain uses to generate insight. The reason you feel paralyzed isn't because you can't choose. It's because you think choosing means forever. The real strategy is serial mastery. You don't build all pillars at once. You choose one for this season, not for your life. 6 months, a year. Long enough to reach fluency, not perfection. Long enough for I'm missing out to soften into. I'm learning something real. And when that pillar has given you what it needs to give, you don't quit out of avoidance. You graduate. You move on intentionally, without shame. This also means redefining stability. For an exploratory mind, a low-drain job isn't selling out. It's strategic ground. It protects your energy, the most valuable resource you have. High-passion, high-stress roles often consume everything, leaving no space for the curiosity that defines you. Stability isn't a cage unless you treat it like one. Finally, you need a system. Your mind produces more ideas than it can safely hold. Trying to carry them all internally creates overwhelm. You don't need to act on every obsession. You need to capture them, externalize them, store them. When an interest fades, you don't lose it, you archive it. Years later, those stored ideas collide in ways you couldn't plan. That's where originality comes from. This is the part no one tells you. You are not behind. You are not unfocused. You are not failing. You are wired to connect worlds, not live inside one. And the moment you stop forcing your brain into a shape it was never meant to hold, something unexpected happens. The anxiety softens. The self-blame loosens. You don't need to choose who you are forever. You just need to choose who you're becoming next.